Welcome to West Coast Cast today and our podcast from Covington Community Church. And we have a very special episode, episode 32, but we're launching the opening of a school in Nigeria, a school that was basically just a dream, a hope, and now it's reality, and it actually opens and launches this weekend. This Sunday's the dedication.
Yes, this is the culmination of a dream that began 8 years ago.
Wow.
When just one guy showed up from Nigeria here, and everything just took off. And the construction of the school, which you can see if you go on our website, covingtonwac.org/Nigeria. There's all sorts of things there. The school is just one aspect of this.
Wow.
They got a thriving, vibrant church now with almost 2,000 people in it.
That's amazing.
They have a teacher training center, and they've already trained some teachers.
Computer training center as well with over 40 computers. Welcome to the podcast. I want to welcome back my co-host, Mike Donnelly, Miracle Mike.
Yep. This is Disclosure Day, but for Nigerian schools.
Yeah, for Nigerian schools. And, it really is amazing. And Ben, thank you for being on the other side of the screen for us. And it really is amazing. And education is such a massive factor. And I think in the West, we kind of forget how important education is and really what it's done for our own culture, let alone what it's done worldwide. I want to welcome you also as our audience today. I want to welcome you into our podcast. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And this is an exciting podcast. It's one really built on hope.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing to see. I mean, these people just had a big dirt lot in the middle of nowhere. And, they, you can see the pictures for yourself. They got piles of gravel and some wood and some bricks and some plans, and they built the school themselves.
That's actually the logo of the school that's up here. And a couple of weeks ago in July, I had a chance to interview the president of the EYN, and he actually represents, I think I said before, about 2 million Christians. And the level of persecution that Nigerians receive it's pretty incredible, actually. It's amazing how violent it is. And for the church and for Nigeria, it's one of the most persecuted churches in the world today, right now.
Yeah, I mean, the whole place is a war zone. The government is substandard, and the other side is very, very active. They have no compunction about burning down Christian villages or Christian houses or murdering Christians. They even kill their own people. I mean, these guys they have no limits.
It's amazing because the EYN president, Dr. Reverend Mbaya, he just sent a letter to the current president of Nigeria, Tinubu, and it was interesting what he had to say about school and school students, receiving back the students who have been kidnapped. And so to look at a school being opened in just outside of Abuja, in Gurku, it really brings hope, and education brings hope to children, to families, but it brings possibilities that didn't exist before. And
there's no public school system over there. They don't have teachers unions or school buses.
It's not America, that's for sure.
Districts or anything like that.
Yeah.
If you want your kid in school, you're going to pay somebody $6,000 a year for that. And the school might not be in the best place, and the kid may have to go away to school. And there are not that many of them. And what you find is that in some areas, only 30% of the people have actually been to school.
Yeah, it's an amazing number. So one of the things that, Dr. Daniel mentioned was that there are, because of the violence that's happening there, and this is just less than the last 10 years, I think maybe the last 8 years, there's over 100,000 orphans because of the violence. and some of them will be attending the school. And actually, in years past and visits past, we've met some of the orphans in this particular camp in this particular community. So people are being displaced all over. But to begin a school, a computer center, I want to say it's really amazing. Some of the pictures that we're going to show, I think you'll be amazed at too. And
Speaking of pictures, on the back page of our paper bulletin, there's you and one of the Nigerian kids.
wow.
Was he an orphan or?
I'm not sure.
But yeah,
And
so there's a reason to come here so you can get our paper bulletin and look at the picture.
yeah, that was one of the children actually that helped us lay the block for the teacher training center. And you mentioned that this all started with one person, and just to kind of walk back a little bit, a gentleman named Ibrahim, Mr. Ibrahim. He's in charge of actually the school and some of the programs that we're doing. He came here, it was almost 10 years ago now. A complete stranger to America, his first trip. He'd never seen snow before. Here he is in the Pacific Northwest. And man, he's getting introduced to snow and mountains big time. And he came here to train for a year in how to teach teachers specific education methods and then take it back to Nigeria. And our church and our community hosted him, and I would say it was incredible. And it's funny that one person could make such a massive difference. But over that year, we established a relationship with him, and we had no idea that we were going to go not only visit him, but visit an entire community in Nigeria, basically from tip to stern. That he would be the catalyst. One person would be the catalyst for that, and he himself is an educator. He's not particularly a pastor, but he is a teacher, an educator, an administrator, a builder of programs. And I have to say, it's been remarkable. We have met so many people through him
Yeah, and
across Nigeria.
for those of you who don't know this guy here, he's actually famous for
Oh
starting
my!
pre-K education
Oh my!
centers. He's worked with some of the big dogs. He's worked with little people. He's taken
Wow!
people
Well,
with
thank
no
you.
program and put them on the map. He's almost as famous for that as he is for being a rabbi who preaches
Wow!
Christ.
Wow! Thank you. Thank you. It's funny because education for me personally, teaching children and working with families and communities, that's been about 31 years of my life, in
Yeah.
addition to ministry.
Put you guys together in this gasoline and road flares right there.
Man. Well, let's kind of roll some footage a little bit. And so we're going to roll some footage. I don't think we've shown this yet, but this is actually the school after it was completed. And so they've just put in some of the gravel and the sand and the building. I think the solar's up. So this is
Yep.
actually the building. And Ben, if we can roll that footage,
Yeah.
and then we'll take a look at some of that.
Yeah. This is definitely not the fabled huts of the olden days. There were times when you know, people would get together in old wooden shacks or whatever they had. In fact, I saw pictures from Nigeria, and one of their old meeting halls was a rundown building with wooden benches in it and looked like an old wooden shack. And I'm like, did people go in that and it didn't fall down? Interesting. But, there was, they're surprisingly modern. The school is right up to date. The buildings are fresh. They are, you can see the
To
plans.
God be the glory.
And we have, yeah, to God be the glory.
That's the voice of Ibrahim.
We have completed now electrical wiring in all the classrooms, lights, ceiling fans, because every day over there it's like 95 degrees.
It's interesting because as this building was being built, it's a large building, a large structure, for that area that people took tours. I mean, they stopped what they were doing in the day just to see the construction of the school. But, they don't really have schools like that. And so people across this state in Nigeria, it's Nasharara. I can never pronounce that right. But it's one of the best schools in the region already, even before it's opened. with classrooms, desks, things like that, and a full cadre of teachers, which that too is a difficult task to pull off. And so to have a full complement of teachers, to teach the subject matter. And yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And it just tells you what the value of education is in an area where education is so sparse and so short
Yeah.
staffed.
I mean, it definitely weighs a lot. American schools don't really get any credit, but the thing is, the difference between somebody with education and somebody with no education is a factor, a major factor of their adult life. What kind of job they're going to have, what they're qualified for, what kind of income they're going to have. It all starts with education. If I could tell the kids one thing, it'd be pay more attention in high school.
Pay more attention to math class and
Yeah.
keep that calculator fresh. Ben, maybe we can see another piece of some of our footage.
Oh yeah, like the back to school stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, they got school supplies now, and they love math. Speaking of math,
Oh,
oh yeah,
let's go back to that picture real quick. This is Ibrahim here, and this actually is in another location. It's in Maiduguri, and we'll go back to that picture again if we can click back to that. And so this is really Maiduguri is really at the heart of terrorism. It's actually where Boko Haram actually began,
yeah,
and where their center point was. And so here's a teacher, a parent, and a young child receiving an award. And this is Ibrahim. This is the caliber of person that he is. And I would say in education, you've always kind of got to have a soft heart. Some of the reward or hugs or award times like this. But I mean, this is a big moment. And
yep,
Ibrahim is just an incredible person, so warm.
yeah.
And
If you go back and look at episode 3, I think it is. We actually talked to this guy on the phone
yeah,
and had
he's
him
one of our
live,
early.
and you can just feel the energy, but his story too. I mean,
Yeah,
he was in Maiduguri when the terrorists came there, and they burned his farm and they killed his people, and
yeah,
he barely got out with his life. And so he drives this whole thing with his entire essence, because he really appreciates it. Because, well, this is the first. This is he's not just some volunteer or administrator looking after the camp. He's its first resident.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a powerful. That's a powerful testimony about him. Episode 3 was in our early days of trying to work out
Yeah.
how do we talk to people and bring stories
Yeah.
from right where it's happening.
Yeah.
So
And
how do we
so
navigate that? And episode 3 was a big learning curve. And
and so we took away the supercomputer, and today Ben is doing the podcast on an etch a sketch.
wow, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's a guy that has more than just, this is just a job. That's not him.
Yeah, that's
He's a guy that has passion for education because education is life and it's the future. And he is so aware of that. Consequently, Boko Haram is an organization that is anti education and especially anti education for women.
yeah. Yeah,
And that was one of the reasons why the women of Chibok they were students. They were kidnapped. 100,
yep.
that was 2014.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the reasons why they were kidnapped. And so it's interesting. Education is a great equalizer, and it can also be threatening as well. Some people can feel threatened by it. I would say an educated society really benefits everybody.
Yeah.
Ibrahim is such a wonderful person, teacher, and educator. Yeah.
Absolutely. And there are a number of advantages. And like I said, it really does determine the course of your life. You people play around with this, or they get sidetracked, or they get worthless paper degrees, that showed they had connections in college but no real experience, and then they actually have to go out and do the work. And yeah, that's the thing. These guys did the work. I mean, Ibrahim did not just, you know, manage all of this. He actually picked up a shovel and he got to work too.
Yeah, he didn't just teach, but he started building,
Yeah.
and I would say it's been a pleasure. Really, we had no idea 4 years ago, and it's not quite been five, but it's been 4 years ago that we'd embark on probably one of the biggest projects we've ever done. And we followed all of the guidance basically of the EYN leadership because they have the whole scope of Nigeria basically. And so they're meeting needs on a grand scale, but education was what was their top thing. Medicine was number three because there were so many deaths due to the lack of medicine, health care. But education was one of the top ones. And I want to say that's passionate because that's really about the future. You know, that's about the future of the country. And
Yeah.
I wish we thought more about that, you know, as we go through our own educational stuff, not only in this state, in Washington
No
state,
kidding. Yeah,
yeah, but
we're
nationally.
Nigeria is poised to overtake us as the third most populous nation by 2030.
Wow.
So,
Says something a lot, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Let's take a look at maybe some of the other video footage that we have. And Ben, if let's see what we got on this.
If you can,
Man,
if you can coax the squirrel with a nut and a piece of string.
that's right. We're still
Come on,
technically
squirrel.
challenged,
Come.
roughly,
Yeah,
but we're
yeah,
cooking with more gas than we did before. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah,
We have learned a lot in our podcasts. Let's kind of take a
yeah.
peek and see what that was that we were going to have next up on. So let's pull up the one for the school, for the opening of the school. And this is just a flyer for the
Oh, the
school.
picture. Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
yeah.
And
That's
so
nice.
there's the school, there's some of the interior. And at the bottom, diamond there, which is cool because it's all solar powered. Let's go back to that again before we,
Oh, how funny! That
let's
guy.
skip this out. Let's go back to our flyer.
They picked the same section I did.
Yeah. And
Picture in the video. This one too.
yeah,
That one too.
that's with the fans, lights, and the school's solar powered. And I want to say Nigeria is a petroleum state. Basically, they're part of OPEC. And but I want to say their power outages and their brownouts, man, they're notorious for that. And so to power the computer center, to power
Yeah.
the schools, because there's over 40 computers, it's the
Yeah.
most technical school in the area
Yeah.
already.
The nearest public utilities are more than 10 miles away.
Yeah,
And they didn't even want to guess at some sort of quote to extend the lines out there,
yeah.
for the camp, but they were just. This place is 14 kilometers northeast of the capital, and they don't even have real roads. They have one road that a section of it is
It's a dirt
paved.
road in, man,
Yeah.
but it's getting paved. So it may be paved now. So this is a nursery, which is early learning, a primary school, which is elementary, junior secondary, and a senior secondary school. It's going to start with over 300 students already. And I would say that's impressive. And there'll be a waiting list, or perhaps we'll do some other things for other students. The community is growing, and it's transitioning from a place of refuge, an IDP camp, internally displaced camp. It is transitioning into a place where people are relocating now and repicking up their lives, including the education of their children.
Yeah.
Wow.
All this just underscores Nigeria is not like America. I mean, a lot of people just think, oh, it's overseas, but it's just like America. They do stuff. No, it's completely different. Um, the nearest analogy is it's like America after a national disaster. Like you look at South Florida after a hurricane, that's pretty much where they're at.
The
People,
massive displacement of people, I have to say, is a challenge. And my hat's off to the EYN, their leadership. And the person that we started this out with, as we came to Nigeria, was the former president of Nigeria, or president of the EYN, Reverend Joel Billy.
Yeah.
And that man, he has not only a passion for education, but for people. So he's like a big father in many ways for about 2 million people at the time. And he's like a tribal chieftain and like a loving father. And he was one of the people that helped us navigate basically the country of Nigeria, and he made everything that he had at his disposal. His predecessor has been a bulwark against terrorism, against violence, and he's been outspoken across the state of Nigeria, including to the national government. So
Oh
those
wow.
two have been just dynamic, and we couldn't have built the school without the help of the EYN and those people. And I have to say that this is something that's open to both Christian students, children and families of the area, and Muslim students as well. They'll get a
Yep.
good education all around. So, and that's the EYN. They're just open to all of those things. And so,
Yeah, yeah, and that's interesting. It's very close to 50-50 Christians versus Muslims, but it's a Muslim majority government.
yeah,
And so, you know, there are aid to displaced Muslims, but there is no aid to displaced Christians.
yeah.
So,
That's amazing, really. And that's a whole other topic area, really. And it's something that we've had to navigate as a congregation and as people that have supported this work. Ben, maybe you'll roll us on to our next piece.
insert the punch cards.
Insert the punch card. So this is some of the equipment. Is this a video or just picture?
Yeah,
And
this is the backpacks.
this is the backpacks. And so, it's amazing how little children have, and especially if you've come out of an area of violence. You don't have backpacks, you don't have school supplies. And I mean, we look at that in the United States, and we're getting ready to go back to school
Yeah.
ourselves
In
next
fact, we
week.
just had a drive. You can bring right down here to 17455 Wax Road your school supplies, backpacks,
That's right.
jackets, and other things to drop off for the kids. And come and say hi to Diana and grab a cup of coffee.
Man, it's funny because education really is a community thing. And it's one of those things that carries, 50, 100 years into the future. You make your bed now, but the benefit of it is, decades ahead. It changes generations. And so, but these are children that really don't have much for education, and they've been completely supplied. And the backpacks are just powerful. It gives them a sense
Yeah.
of belonging, something to put their things in. And
A
what a
place to
cool
put their
deal.
protractors.
That's right. And yeah, let's go on and see what's next on this, Ben. We're going to see oh, this is kind of cool. And this is a
Yeah.
video.
Now, this is a picture
This is a picture.
that goes, what's it called? I think it's called Back to School. It's a video.
Back to school is a
But,
video. We'll
yeah.
take a look at this
If you're
video.
brave enough to hit the button, oh, here we go. So in about 10 seconds, then we'll jump into the school stuff.
There we go.
And,
These are math kits.
Yeah, it's very cool. There's a pencil, a pen, an eraser, a pencil sharpener, and a protractor in there, and some sort of orange paper. But they're teaching math the hard way over there.
That's right, the old-fashioned way.
So
And they
regardless-
have computers as well, of
yeah.
course.
So they're not messing with Common Core. They're teaching the traditional curriculum
Wow.
like we used to years ago. Anyways.
It's nice to see the math kits, and math is a big deal, and it's one of those subject areas that we used to teach well in America,
Yeah.
and of course it's a basis of engineering and medicine and so many other things.
Yeah. And they're
and
doing
then-
it frontier style. No
Frontier
computers,
style.
no laptops, no AI.
Yeah. Probably not much AI, but they definitely have computers. This school has over 40 computers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is some of the school books that are here. And wow, science, math,
Yeah.
place to put your stuff.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to hand out the book with you and Pete and Marty on the back.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because when I remember going back to school, I remember the Peachy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Now you are the Peachy.
yeah,
At
now
the
we are
back
the
of the
Peachy.
Peachy.
That's it, man. So for those that are outside this area, Peachy's just like a school folder that you put your stuff in.
Yeah. And man, that really brings back memories. Plus,
We're headed to September pretty quickly, and so
this is
again, that's back to the school.
yeah, this is what do you call it? A chance to merch.
A chance for merch.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
say that's a lot of parents feel like that's what back to school is. It's a
Oh
chance to
yeah.
just spend some money. And so there again, there's some of the full kit that children will receive, and this is at the elementary age. And so, yeah, it's nice to have those things. And of course, they have computers for calculators and things like that. So, yeah, very fascinating to look at that. And of course, this has all been supplied by donation. So every single piece of this has been supplied by somebody in the U.S. And for several of the people who have been big donors, I'm just very grateful for everything that they contributed. One of the containers we sent off was a 40-foot container full of school supply, desks, equipment, computers.
Hmm.
That was a big deal, and that's a story all by itself,
Yeah.
basically. Trying to ship containers from the U.S., but we had a
Yeah.
whole school that
Yeah.
dedicated themselves as they were closing. They supplied all their material for us: computers,
Mm.
desks, books.
Amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's God's provision.
Yeah, it was a
That's
complete miracle and totally unexpected. But as we were getting ready to launch this, man, what a gift that was.
that's Jehovah Jireh.
That's Jehovah
Yeah.
Jireh.
And he provided us with some stuff which went in there too. And
That's right.
so the running joke around here, whenever something's missing, is
It
we
got
send
sent
it
to
to
Africa.
Nigeria.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that, and
Yeah.
but absolutely
Are
fantastic.
you already working on a third container?
We are actually,
Oh,
and
okay,
we're
good.
working on a third container. And
Let us know because the other half of the stuff that they already got last time is sitting right on the other side of this wall over here.
wow, some of the sponsorship for both the school and for the hospitals has actually been big, and it's some of the biggest hospitals in this area.
Yes,
And
there's
they won't refuse to take the credit, won't take the credit for it.
yeah.
But the stuff that they've sent has already been unbelievable.
They will not be named.
They
However,
will not
thank
be
you,
named.
Space Between the Mountains Hospital.
That's right. Let's go on to our next one. I think maybe, is that a music piece that we have?
Yeah, but it's the kids or the women's one.
Let's go with the children one first. We'll do this one last. Let's go back and do the one with the children. So these are some of the children of the very community where the school's going on. So they're singing, and many of these children that are here, just some of them that are here, are children who are victims of violence and crime. They live in this community because where they're from in northern or central Nigeria doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of it used to be. There used to be a village there. There used to be a farm there. I mean, that's the thing. Right? There's no organized cops. Like, there may be like a regional constable that you can get him out there in 6 hours or a day, but there's no city police response, sirens and vehicles.
Once you get away from a major city, yeah, you will not really see a lot of police. You'll mostly see military. Yeah.
It's like living here in the mountains. Sometimes the sheriff doesn't even come when he's called.
There's a certain amount of joy to hearing the voice of children singing. I'd say that's a whole different thing. And some of the refugees that I've met there, and some of the orphan children that I've met, they weren't really singing. And of course, they were quite sad. This is a completely different thing. And to build a school for them, to have a school come into their community for their future, well, that's a big deal. In this very building here, and this is a church at Gurku, in this very church, I met with about 300 young adults, and that's between 16 and probably 25 years of
Mm.
age, young entrepreneurs. And
This is the church they just built, right?
yeah,
Yeah. You can see the plans and the dirt, rocks, bricks, everything else online too as well.
it is currently the second largest church in the EYN community in Nigeria. Population wise, it's the second largest church. The largest church is actually in the most terrorized section, which is Maiduguri, home of Boko Haram. It's a church of about 4,500 people. And so this is the second largest church now. And I can remember
Mm.
just a few years ago it was much smaller. And
Yeah.
so they're also going to be on the campus. This school is going to be on their campus. And so these are some of the children that would be attending the school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have some aerial photogrammetry of the camp also online.
We'll have, yeah,
But
online.
yeah, so you'll see it laid out. It's laid out in a giant U shape with the church at the front, and then right behind that is the school, and then right behind that is the other school building, and then the teacher training center,
Yeah.
and the computer center is right behind the church, and it kind of sticks out sideways. And then all of that is right next to the hospital they're building. So, I mean, they've been very busy, and they've. I know I've been amazed, looking at the early pictures and then looking at the late pictures and putting all this stuff together. And there's you don't do this in America.
No.
Not at all. You don't take a dirt lot and turn it into a church, a hospital, a school, and a teacher training center.
I have to say
The
that there was
bureaucracy would be staggering.
the amount of help that the state, that is this local area, the governor, many of the people that are there, they've been overwhelmingly supportive. And I have to thank at least one of the imams, but there's about four, not imams. They are, what?
Oh yeah, the other guy, Sheik.
They're sheiks, basically, sheikhs.
Yep.
There's another term for it. If we bat it around, we'll think about it.
The
But
Sheik, the son
they
of Sheik.
have sold and dedicated land at a discount for a lot of the projects that have been built within the last 3 years. And
Yeah, that's what I heard was
Emir,
the dirt. Yes, Emir.
yes. And one of when we dedicated this building, one of the emirs was actually present, and they are Muslim.
Yeah,
And they brought groups of people, and they helped dedicate this building and many others. And I have to say, my hat's off to that community.
yeah,
They,
that's shocking.
yes, it is,
Yeah.
and that's not things that we hear.
When's the last time somebody from the local mosque came to dedicate a church?
So for those who aren't familiar with maybe Muslim terms, an emir is a royalty. Basically, they're like a count or a duke in many
Yeah,
ways.
they're lower echelon, but they're in charge of a group of people
Yeah.
or an area. And it's all spelled out in the Quran if you want to read it. But
And an imam is actually a religious figure.
yeah,
So
yeah,
not a royal figure, but a religious figure. So
yeah.
like our pastors or
One's
rabbis.
a leader, almost like a governor, and the other
Yeah,
one's a
exactly.
preacher.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah.
Secular and religious. So yeah, do we play any more of the music of these children? And we're looking forward to having more of this kind of content, from them as the school takes place, as children are actually in it. And that won't be the first day of school for them is actually the 24th of August. So that'll be day one for them, right after the dedication, which is this Sunday. Right after that dedication, then they go right into the first school day. All the teachers, all the staff, everybody in place. There's going to be roughly 4,000 people of this community that are going to be there across the entire country of Nigeria. There'll be people from the north, south, from all over that will be dedicating this. And, it just goes to show what a big deal a school like this is in a community and what hope it brings to the future. 4,000 people to dedicate.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like there's more schools on every block. There are no blocks. There are no schools.
Yeah.
If you're going to send your kid to school, then there's a very good chance you're going to send them to the big city. And
Yeah.
the kid's going to live in a giant building with
Yeah.
a bunch of other kids all year and then come home after for the summer. But yeah. Here it's frontier style.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we have a place in America that reaches this kind of level.
Quite frankly, once you get out of the larger cities, most classrooms are much more humble, and a lot of them are outdoor classrooms. And I have to say I'm a big advocate of outdoor education, but I want to say sometimes it has its limitations, especially hot and cold, but the students are very resilient, and their teachers in how they use blackboards. In some schools, a piece of chalk and a blackboard is the technical piece of the school. And so oftentimes the dirt is used as a blackboard, or the dirt and a stick for them to teach the alphabet of writing. And
By the way, to get into some school nerd stuff, what curriculum are they using?
yeah, I want to say I don't know that we're going to be super picky about that, but it is state approved in Nigeria, the curriculum we're going to use.
So they're using that.
State approved, and this is a religious school as well, a school of the EYN, a Christian school that's going in. This last video was kind of interesting because, again, this is from the community, and they'll have people that dance, sing as they dedicate this Sunday, as they dedicate this school, and so many people from the community will be out there. But this is part of a women's fellowship, and they're big. They're actually probably over 100 women that are part of this. They sing.
You don't see a women's group this size, outside of a mega church.
Man, no, you don't. And their voices are pretty good too. And so they're doing a special number that's here, but this is going to be part of the music, part of the celebration. And I want to say I hope you as an audience enjoy some native music, and pardon the pun, but music fresh from the community and to the community where this school is going to go. And I hope you enjoy it. And Ben, if you want to roll that for us. But these women are fantastic. Many of these women I have met in previous trips. Their children also attend this school.
Daughter of Rabbi the Senior Pastor in America.
Yeah, this is a special piece that was dedicated to us. Gotta love that sound.
Yeah. You picked that up? There's a couple of women screaming.
We're going to close our program pretty much going out with this, but we're excited, and we hope that we brought a little bit of hope. It's a different program today for education and for hope, especially against terrorism. Mike, I want to thank you for being a special guest. Again, you're always a special guest.
Let me blatantly plug the website, www.covingtonwacc.org/Nigeria. Everything we've done and everything we're doing in Nigeria is there.
If you'd like to support the work that we do there and bring some hope to families and students, especially this community, you're welcome to donate from the website, and we hope that you've enjoyed this program today. Please like, share, and subscribe. And again, we want to thank you for being our audience. You've been fantastic. Mike, you have too. Thank you for helping us put together this footage. I want to thank the community of Gurku, the EYN, those people that are part of the state government that helped license this school, make this reality, and of course for each of the donors and supporters, people who donated, whether it was money, prayer, or gifts in kind. Thank you so much for helping bring education to a place that needs it.
Yeah, and the other thing is the people from the camp were
Women Fellowship
getting together
UNNCC
and
Gurku
helping.
presenting
They
a
were
song
pitching in.
to Rabbi's daughter.
Huge group. Yes, the camp will benefit, and yes, the camp expended their personal energy on this. It's a double win. Everybody got something out of it.
Thank you again for viewing episode 32. And our next episode, we'll be talking about the children of Aurora right here in Seattle. Some of the things that we're doing there. I know that you're going to like Stephen Caddy, and you're going to like what he does for children and for education right here in our own state. God bless you. Thank you for watching our program. Like, share, and subscribe.